Yo, what's up fam? Thanks once again for tuning into the channel. So this is KIXPLORE, where we talk everything about sneakers, lifestyle, travel, and a little bit of everything in between. And today we're going to be taking a beginner's guide to NIKE ACG. So this is my guide, KIXPLORE, for all those that are kind of wanting to get into NIKE ACG, or even for people that already have been in NIKE ACG, but maybe this could be a little bit more informative for you guys because there might be something that you guys don't know. But once again, this is my version of just a beginner's guide to help all those people that want to get into NIKE ACG get their kit on and all that kind of stuff. So let's go. So the things I'll be covering in this video are, of course, an intro, what to buy first, where to buy, what kind of things you should be getting, where you can possibly use this kind of stuff, the sizing. Also kind of be talking about the different kind of regions that you can buy NIKE ACG in, and also which NIKE ACG accounts you should be following. So let's get into the first segment, shall we? So my intro to basically ACG is that I have been collecting for not so long. I mean, I know there are a heap of other NIKE ACG heads out there that have been collecting for decades or even longer, and I've sort of just started ever since I got this first pair. But this is probably my first pair of NIKE ACG sneakers that I bought that kind of, I don't know how it got my feet wet into the actual brand. And I gotta say, this was it was a pretty steep jump. A long time ago, these Antarctics, they were like around 200, it cost me 290 Australian dollars, which is pretty expensive. I remember I was just like, oh my gosh, am I really gonna pay this much amount of money just for a pair of sneakers? I instantly fell in love with these sneakers. I mean, you could just look at them. Yeah, when I first saw them, I was like, I gotta get them. And yeah, I just took the plunge and I bought them, and I have never regretted it since. Mainly because, yeah, these have skyrocketed in price, surprisingly. I'm kind of surprised that they wouldn't like bring out another kind of rollout of this actual sneaker. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me if I can give it to you or if I could sell it to you, but guys, I'm so sorry. If it's not the first, it's the second kind of favorite of my entire sneaker collection. So forgive me guys if I can't just give it away to you guys or like even sell it to you. It's basically yeah, it's pretty precious to me, and I will always kind of cherish this one because this is the first one that kind of got me into the brand. Ever since then, I've sort of, I don't know how many years ago, that could have been like 3 or 4 years ago, that's when I started collecting NIKE ACG. And I kind of just slowly made my way up in terms of what pieces I want to collect, because I've always kind of just liked to get things that match. And what you'll probably notice with NIKE ACG is they put out a lot of stuff that match specifically maybe to the previous release or for a future release. So like there'll be things that match, but then there'll be things that don't match with anything. You'll probably notice that, oh, I don't know, that's what I've kind of seen, like the releases that's given to us here in Australia. Could be different with you guys, but I know there's a whole different kind of release system that Nike has for everything, NIKE ACG, I guess. So if it's a summer release, wherever it's summer, that's where they're going to be putting all the major products. Does that make sense? Whereas for the colder regions, during that summer release, they probably get a lot less. And that's just the way that it usually goes. It usually follows the American kind of season. I think the headquarters for NIKE ACG is in Oregon. Well, that's what I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. So a lot of the kind of the releases time kind of the American season, if that makes sense. Well, that's what I've kind of experienced anyway. But I know they do random releases and all that kind of stuff. But you always just gotta pick and choose, guys. Sometimes we can get stuff. If I were you, just always get your wallet ready and just pray that you get the kind of releases that you want. It's all really just a waiting game. And that's the thing with NIKE ACG. It always comes in seasons. It's never just one constant flow of pieces that you can get, because once things sell out, generally they'll be out for a couple of months or anything like that. Or you just really have to wait for the next drop or the next set of releases to get that item if they put it in that release. And of course, I'm like a lot of you that like NIKE ACG because of their kind of functional purposes and also their aesthetic. I haven't seen any other brand do it as cool as NIKE ACG. They got the colors, they got the, you know, the technology into the actual thing, and they kind of wove it all into one, creating NIKE ACG, the brand, and its aesthetic. I love it personally. Or every release, it was always gonna like there's bound to be something a little bit different, something unique, whether it be glow in the dark, waterproof, a different style of jacket that has different kind of customizations and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I like about NIKE ACG. It's always there's always something different with it every time it is released, especially with the sneakers and the footwear, which I do believe they have some pretty awesome ones as of late. Sometimes they don't release new footwears, but I know, like, as from today, there's like 2 really cool ones that's coming out. So I know it's the Gaia Dome, the NIKE ACG Gaia Dome that's coming out. It's like a big boots, Gore-Tex. That's going to be awesome. And also another one that I'm waiting for is the Mountain Fly Low in the version 2. That's going to be pretty cool because, yeah, I've collected all the Mountain Flies from the highs to the lows. There's kind of different mixed opinions between that from me and other people in the NIKE ACG community, especially about the outsole. But you know, I know NIKE ACG is actually trying to improve that kind of stuff because so you could see in the kind of the releases for footwear after that, after they released the Mountain Fly Low and the high, they've kind of changed the lugs and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, props to NIKE ACG for doing that. But yeah, so there's a lot of really cool releases. But I would say it is kind of expensive, especially the waterproof or the Gore-Tex pieces that you can get out there. The Missouri Ridge, for example, or some of the Crater Lake, or, yeah, I think it's Crater Lake jackets and all that kind of the House of Craters or something like, well, like, you know, the other jackets that they have out there that have Gore-Tex on it, usually and generally they are a lot more expensive. That could be, if in comparison, I would like to say some of the thinner the Gore-Tex jackets are around $365, and then the Missouri Ridge jackets, which is probably the most expensive piece that you can get from NIKE ACG, that can reach up to 500 to 550 Australian dollars. So it's pretty expensive, but I do believe they're kind of worth their investment because you can use them for a long time. But if I were you and you were gonna pay the big bucks for those kind of jackets, I would say that you get like probably a more minimal colored one so you can match it with all these different kind of outfits and other colors. Because if you get like some of the ones that have the really vibrant primary colors, I don't know, I feel like it looks weird like with other colors that don't really match it, if you know what I mean. That's just me personally. I know there's a bunch of you guys out there that don't really care about the whole color combination or matchy thing, which is perfectly fine because I'm like that too sometimes. But generally, if I can match it, like the colors on my NIKE ACG outfit, I'll do that. But if I can't, well, I don't know, man. It still looks pretty fly to me. So that's another thing about NIKE ACG. And probably the last thing, but not the least thing I like about NIKE ACG is that you can actually use them to do stuff, man. I know a lot of people out there like to buy like shoes, clothing, and all that kind of stuff just to show on the Instagram and all that kind of stuff. But with NIKE ACG stuff, it's purposely made for you to go outdoors and all that kind of stuff, to do camping, to do the hiking, and that's what I really like to do when I can. Obviously, I've been injured, so I haven't been doing a lot of hiking videos for you guys. I'm really sorry, but I'm taking it as slow as I can because I really don't want to aggravate this injury or let it happen again to me in the future. Because yeah, it's pretty bad. And if you guys know what it feels like to rupture your Achilles, I know you know the pain and all that kind of stuff. But either way, you know, NIKE ACG, you know, it's just so cool. It looks great when you go outdoors as well, with the backpacks, with the accessories, with the whole fit. If you got that going on, oh man, it looks awesome. Going to say, guys, you don't need to buy a whole fit. You don't need to buy every single piece that comes out. Obviously, if you got the money to do it and you really like it, you can do it. But I would always recommend you guys to always kind of pick and choose the kind of pieces that you get, especially the ones that kind of match like other clothing that you already have, or the pieces that you really need, especially because like certain areas or certain parts of the world probably won't need other items that release. For example, when you go, like here in Australia, it gets cold, but it doesn't get negative degrees cold, if you know what I'm talking about. Like in the more kind of populated areas, it's fairly cold, but it's never like sub zero like temperatures cold, so we don't need the thermal jackets as much as compared to places maybe like Korea or America, where they do need it. And you know, it just looks great because it's puffy, it's warm, and it's NIKE ACG. So that's why I wouldn't go for those ones, because basically I wouldn't really need it. But places maybe have a lot of rain but it's really hot, places like Singapore or the other Asian countries, you know, you want something thin but you want something waterproof. And that's why they have those like the Misery Ridge jackets, where it's a little bit thin but it's kind of breathable, so you're not totally sweating underneath. So if you can get my drift, there's all these kind of different for different regions or different like areas of the world. Maybe some parts, some pieces will be more effective or more like appealing than others, if you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, definitely take your time when you're actually buying these pieces. But in terms of the footwear, I would probably recommend that if you're gonna get a pair of like shoes that are new, generally they sell out. The problem with it is that they don't sell out pretty much straight away. I don't want to say that they don't sell out straight away, because sometimes they do. The problem with it is that once they sell out, they don't re-release it for a really long time. So I know it's happened to me where I've wanted a pair and I thought they would re-release it, but they just never do. What I do for pieces that I think might sell out straight away is I basically I buy that item first. So if it's a pair of shoes, like let's say the Gaia Domes are kind of gonna come out, they're kind of expensive, but I think a lot of people really want them. So what I would do is generally go into the Nike website, I'll buy that piece first and not even worry about anything else that's releasing. Just buy that piece, boom, because sometimes what can happen is if you're buying it and you just leave it in your cart, there's a possibility of that chance that, you know, someone can still take that pair from you. Even though it's in your cart, it might say it's been sold out. So that's why I say, if you really want a piece that might sell out, definitely buy it first without worrying about other pieces like adding into your cart kind of thing. Just get that piece, confirm that one, and then move on, because other pieces like the clothing and all that kind of stuff, generally they will be there a little bit longer for you to purchase. But usually sneakers, they usually go, and once they sell out, it's pretty much hard to get them again, unless you want to pay resale prices. Of course you can do that, but obviously who wants to pay resale prices when you can get it for the retail price, if you know what I mean. Places where you can buy these, where I could kind of suggest, obviously this is for people in my region of Australia. Places I usually go is Up There store, I go to Subtype store, Supply store. There's other places as well like Nike.com. That will always have whatever they're selling in your region, obviously. But I would generally suggest for you guys to go to those local boutiques, like the ones I suggested in my region, to go and buy it in your region as well, because usually it's quicker for the shipping to get to you. The problem with Nike for me is when I buy the bigger releases, obviously, they take a whole lot longer to get to me. Usually it takes exactly 2 weeks, whereas if they release on the same day at a boutique, it'll get to me not one day, maybe the second day from the time I have purchased it. So that's why I usually tell you guys, if you want to buy something, buy from a boutique, because it'll get to you quicker compared to if you buy something from Nike, it just takes so long. And that wasn't even with COVID, guys. So if you know what I mean, things could probably even be slower now because of all the kind of restrictions and everything. So yeah, and usually it can be a little bit cheaper, especially with the shipping. So that's why, yeah, always go local if you can, guys. What you'll notice that if I try to buy something from a different region, like let's say America, I won't be able to purchase that because Nike has a sort of like a regioning rule where like different regions can't sell to one another. It's whatever region you're in, that's the only stuff that you can get. So let's say for an example, if I go to the website endclothing.com, they have a load of NIKE ACG stuff that I always really want. I've tried to purchase there before, but once it comes to checkout, I put my card in and all that kind of stuff, it basically declines it and nothing happens. So another thing I want to talk about is the sizing. So obviously, I don't know how it goes with you, but every time that when I first started buying NIKE ACG pieces, the sizing was really confusing to me. So because it's different to what you normally probably buy from Nike. Normally I'm a large, for example, and then when I buy a large from Nike, it's huge. And you'd probably be wondering, why do they do that and all that kind of stuff? But you have to understand that some of the pieces are made to be layered and all that kind of stuff. So they're made bigger so you could put layers underneath. So let's say you want to put a fleece thermal piece underneath, and then the jacket. That jacket is probably made for that kind of, you know, to be layered on top of all these other things like your thermals and all that kind of stuff. That's why it feels a little bit bigger. And some people obviously don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want a big jacket. I want it to be thinner because it doesn't really get that cold here. And if I go hiking, I just probably need a t-shirt underneath and I'll be fine. But other people, obviously, it could be different. So you got to keep that in mind. Generally, I would probably tell you guys, if you're from Australia and you don't want to layer up, always go one size down. So like this thermal hoodie that I got from NIKE ACG, this is a medium. I'm normally a large, so it fit like pretty well. I mean, I could probably even try going down to a small if I really wanted to be a little bit more snug, but I kind of like it like baggy and all that kind of stuff a little bit more, so that there's like, you know, my body can breathe while I'm hiking and all that kind of stuff. But so that's just a general rule for me. If you want to layer up, go true to size. If you don't want to layer up, go down one size. Like when it comes to footwear, oh, it's a whole new different kind of thing, because the way that I generally think about it, if it's sealed, so let's say it has Gore-Tex, usually it's like a tighter fit. That's what I've just experienced. Every time it's Gore-Tex, it's usually a tighter fit. So I would generally say that if you got a wide foot, I would go up half a size, because a lot of people would kind of comment in my videos for the NIKE ACG Mountain Fly High that first came out. Everyone thought that it was really snug, and everyone was just kind of saying that you should go up half a size. For me personally, it was snug when the first couple of hikes, but it just kind of stretched out, and then now it's perfect. So that's why it's hard to kind of tell you guys. Maybe for the beginning, if you want, you can go up half a size, and then later on just like wear thicker socks. Whereas for me, I was fine with just going with the true to size and just kind of letting my foot expand. Because the problem with me is because my foot, so I'm a size 9.5 this way, but I'm a size 9 in lengthwise. So if I go up to 10, there'll be too much room in the toe box, if you know what I mean. So that's why I try to always stick to 9.5 and only go to a 10 if I know it's going to be really snug. And I bought two different kind of Mountain Fly highs. So I've got the black and the silver, I think it's called, and also the olive green. Now olive green was just perfect. I had no problems with breathability or like the side kind of sizing. So I don't know, it's always kind of different. Definitely go, if you could try it out on foot yourself in a store or anything like that, definitely do that first. That's always what I recommend if you can do that. But if you have no choice, definitely make the measurements and comparisons from other sneakers that you already have. Check out the Euro size, the US, and the I think it was the Japanese sizing and all that kind of stuff. Kind of make comparisons from that to the NIKE ACG footwear as well. So usually that's what I do. I kind of memorize my kind of, or the specs of my foot, and I try to work it my way from there. It's usually the best way, and it's usually I'm more hitting than missing, if that makes sense, when I use that. And of course, guys, what I love about NIKE ACG is that you can actually use them. You don't just leave them in your display case for you just to admire in your hand. So places that you can actually use NIKE ACG, obviously, as I mentioned before, is camping, hiking, and all that kind of stuff. But a great place I would recommend for you guys to do it is with a group, and NIKE ACG group specifically, because that's really cool. A few guys always kind of message me on Instagram telling me, oh man, that's awesome, I wish they had it in my area. Yo, if you don't have one in your area, make one. It's so much fun. I would like to say some of the ones that I did, if you watch some of my videos, like the one where I went to the Cathedral Ranges with Mr. Tom Hoffman and the crew. Man, it's like my expectations of how hard it was gonna be was like this, but in reality it was like up here, right? They do look after you and all that kind of stuff. That's why I really like hiking with a NIKE ACG group, because you know that the guys are going to be leading the actual the hike are great guys, and they're a great bunch of people, because you're all wearing same stuff. There's always conversations that you could talk about. Hey man, what's your favorite piece and all that kind of stuff. And then when you're actually using it, and you're all trying to kind of go for one goal, which is to go to a certain place, take photos, like the awesome photos. I mean, I know I was talking about before, like, oh, people just, buy stuff so you could post. But gosh, I'm telling you, wearing NIKE ACG to places like that are so high with great views, oh man, it's just an awesome, it's more of like a sentimental and awesome memory that you have. And being able to capture that memory on, like, you know, as a photo or even as a video, man, it just, that will stay in your reel on your phone forever. I know that's what I do with my one. Like, if it's too good and it gives me so many good memories, I don't delete it. I just leave it on my phone, and I always go back to it because it's always such a good feeling that it brings back. And like, oh man, I can't wait to do that again, or if I can do that again, and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I really suggest that if you guys like have a NIKE ACG hike planned, like the ones that we have in Australia with Mr. Tom, you know, go and experience it, man. It's so much fun. It's like and it's like, it's more of a challenge as well. I know some of you guys might be out there like saying, oh, I don't know if it can last the 6 hour or 5 hour hike and all that kind of stuff. I did it, but I still did it, and I don't regret it. It was like, I really need to prepare for the next one if I ever do that again. Definitely, it's such a good accomplishing feeling, like especially with the one that I did with the cathedral ranges. I really honestly would have not done that by myself, but thanks to the guys at NIKE ACG Community AU, you know, they were so kind. They waited for me while I was cramping. They were helping me with all this kind of stuff. Oh, like, oh, do you want some more water, hey bro, and all this kind of stuff. And it's just it's such a cool vibe. With everyone, especially taking the photos and all that kind of stuff, you know, leaving you with great memories. And like, yeah, I really wanted to go for the last couple of NIKE ACG hikes, but oh my gosh, if it wasn't for my Achilles, oh man, I definitely would have went. Okay, so accounts that you can be following for NIKE ACG, I definitely would tell you to look up wherever you're from. So if you're from a different country, you know, I know like in America, they might have a couple already. So maybe look up your area or your state. Like NIKE ACG and then your state. Maybe if you're in America, you could probably follow those ones because they might have some NIKE ACG hikes that you could participate in. If not, definitely check out, like, I know I follow NIKE ACG Community AU. There's other places like ACG Daily. Shout out to Danny doing the good stuff. Go check out the Discord as well. There's a Discord for ACG Daily. Everyone's on that, man. Bro, that, like, I had to switch off my notifications because it was constantly just pinging all the time with notifications because everyone just loves NIKE ACG there. Definitely check it out, guys. Also, there's like, so yeah, that's NIKE ACG Daily. I don't know if you guys could see. Definitely follow them. They're pretty cool. As of late, NIKE ACG Taiwan have been getting some really cool updates. You could join, you can make a like Instagram party as well. I know I'm a part of that. So shout out to the guys from my NIKE ACG group, NIKE ACG Community 4. So all my guys in here, shout out to you guys. Like, man, we just talk about so much stuff, man, about what's in there. And shout out to my boy James, Lucas, and all the NIKE ACG guys from Australia. All conditions gear. There's like ACG Explorer and all these kind of different NIKE ACG communities out there. Like, so I'm really sorry, guys, if I didn't get to put you guys on the thing. I'm really sorry, but there's heaps. That's why I can't really just like name them all because there's all like these really little ones out there as well. Yeah, if you definitely want to get into NIKE ACG, jump onto it. And if you are into NIKE ACG already, bro, you know what I'm talking about, man. Some of the new pieces coming out, especially that NIKE ACG Gaia Dome. Whoa, bro. Whoa. Anyway, guys, so this is just a basic like kind of guide for people that want to get NIKE ACG. Hopefully this helps you out. I'm going to be making a Patreon soon as well. So if you guys want to be supporting that and help me make more videos about NIKE ACG and other content, please support my channel. You don't have to, obviously, it's totally up to you. But yeah, like making these NIKE ACG videos is so expensive. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not even gonna hide that. So if you learned something from this video, I hope that you guys can kind of give me that big thumbs up. That's the thing that I want from you guys the most, is just to basically give this this video a like, subscribe, and leave a comment for the other people. You know, what's your favorite thing to do with NIKE ACG, or any other tips or whatever you want to talk about. If you want to do another NIKE ACG guide, maybe in a different kind of setting and all that kind of stuff, a different type of NIKE ACG guide, let me know in the comments below and I'll try and make that video. Anyway, guys, thanks once again for watching this video, and thank you for all my NIKE ACG followers out there have been showing me great love, man, all the love back to you guys. Thank you so much. You're the reason why I continue to make these NIKE ACG videos, because you guys are just so awesome. Anyway, guys, thank you once again for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, hopefully get to see you guys on the trails with your NIKE ACG gear. Anyway guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.